chairman of the Historic Sites Committee. And the statement I'd like to make very quickly is that after reviewing Mr. Chadwick's report, the Historic Sites Committee generally agrees with pretty much everything that was in it, and has no problem with it being redevelopment. Obviously, one question that came up, which I don't know if you can actually answer at this point, is what the possibility of, I'll say, rehabilitating or adaptively reusing the building as it is.
Mr. Chadwick?
We don't know.
We don't own it.
Yeah, as I said, we didn't take Mr. Heiss in there knowing what, that's a two-edged sword. So we don't know whether it can be saved. It's ruled out, but we don't know. So that, the best thing I can hear is a definite maybe. Sorry.
And if I can make a comment, that I don't think that really changes.
No.
Whether that exists today or whether it goes under the redevelopment. I mean, the owner could knock it down today, you know, if he wanted to do that.
That was
same
actually
within the
one
current-
of my other questions, which is more for the public than anybody else, which is, assuming that the planning board passes this, passes on to the township committee to accept this report, what is the obligation of the property owner in terms of this?
There's nothing. He's now in a redevelopment district, that's it.
Okay.
What he has in terms of his powers, could he come in and get a demolition permit tomorrow? He could request it. There may be some processes that will go on.
Okay. And another follow-up question related to the redevelopment plan in general. And I don't know if you can answer it here. I know this will go on to the township committee as a recommendation.
That's correct.
At what point does the township committee make a decision that they would like to proceed with following this recommendation? And probably more for the public, before I say anything else, at what point is it prudent for the public to step in and make commentary on what they might do as far as a redevelopment plan?
I'm gonna turn it over to our township committee person, but my understanding is that they're gonna go into and know that the first step has been accomplished if we approve the redevelopment. And then I think they're gonna start to consider what they wanna do with the property, what they'd like to see happen to the property. You wanna add to that?
I can just tell you that it'll most likely go to the township committee. And at that point, we will probably just take the recommendation from this board and from the planner. And at that point, we then will recommend that it goes back to the planning board. Or the applicant to go back and follow up. Mr. Chadwick or Mr. can just confirm that.
The next step, as I said, will be the planning process. The steps to go into that aren't set yet. We've got a lot of things on our plate right now that influence the strategies in terms of planning. Some of them are litigation, so we simply cannot talk.
Right.
So, you know, it makes everybody frustrated. Why don't you tell us what you know? Well, I can't.
Is it
I
possible
won't.
to give is it possible, understood. Is it possible to give a broad swag as far as what kind of timing could be expected?
Timing is probably this year, for certain.
Near or far?
This year, for certain.
Okay. Okay, that's all I have, thank
I
you
would
very
just,
much.
Rory, I'd
Yes.
just like to put on a record that Rory and I both serve on the Historic Sites Committee in Warren. It's a condition of the Warren Township Building Department to not knock down a building or supply a demolition permit unless they give Mr. Britt notice that the application is being processed and may come into effect. So Rory and our committee may be the first to know if it ever does get a demolition permit, but that's far in the future.